What is up, guys? Welcome to another Netease ladder game here. Okay, there we go. Not sure what's wrong with the loading screen anymore. Ever since 1.29, there has been a little bit of a problem with that one, but oh well. But either way, we have an undead versus orc matchup here, and yeah, let's just get to it. WFZ spawning in as the blue undead player in the top right. We instantly see graveyard first, was it? Something like that, but it is going to be extremely early crit fiends for him. The sounds sound a little too loud for me, but oh, I think that might be it. Maybe. Okay, I don't know, but that's strange. That looked like the default sound settings, which is definitely not what my previous sound settings were, but yeah, I don't know why the client's in Chinese. I probably have to re-download the international version again, but yeah, his opponent is going to be Infi, who is playing Orc. Rather weird, but this is on the ladder, so anything could pretty much happen, so yeah, let's see how this will do. As you may have noticed, WFZ is actually the primary player, and I might regret it soon because he is pinging a lot right now, but yeah, we're not on the perspective of Infi because he is going for Farseer first, and I'm very curious to see the statistics on first hero picks now on Orc, because I think 3 out of 3 times of 1.29 that I've casted it has been Farseer, and I probably should have checked the other like Orc replays to see if Blade Master just fell off completely. I mean, oh, got disconnected from Netease, but I don't think it matters too much. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say, yeah, off topic here, it is gonna be a Tavern Hero, it looks like, for WFZ. But I was gonna say, like, Blade Master, all he got was some of his numbers touched a little bit. I mean, the fundamental mechanics of the Blade Master actually hasn't changed too much, and I'm actually surprised how much he is not being seen, despite like most of the Orc players, you know, being overly familiar with the Blade Master. It's just that I was expecting like a gradual drop off of the Blade Master, but for now it seems like it's just absolute abandonment of that hero. Goblin Alchemist is coming out as the first hero of WFZ, and he's able to get the kill steal there on the High Priest, able to pick up both the experience and the Wand of Illusion, and it seems like Infi is not too happy about that. Instead of finishing off the camp, he is just going to be chasing down the Alchemist. WFZ with that extremely early graveyard is able to get his crit fiend out at 3 minutes, and he has started his tier 2 tech. Farseer, on the other hand, is now just going to be a bit busy, maybe just doing some damage to the main base of WFZ, which I'm not sure if it's the best usage of his time right now. I mean, yeah, as you can see there, Acid Bomb does quite a bit of damage. Oh man, it's actually really bad for me to not even remember most of the heroes that have been touched in 1.29, but it's either the Alchemist or the Tinkerer that got, I guess, numbers changed, or maybe it was both. I mean, forgive me for not remembering because I have been extremely busy with tests and stuff like that, and my brain has to like hold memory on some other sort of information. But yeah, Infi is, I believe, okay, that's just a mercenary. Or the creep camp. I thought that was Infi's own Ogre Warrior, to be honest, because it had like the red patch on its shoulder, but yeah, I guess it's a little too dark to be belonging to Infi's side. The Farseer is still sticking around. All he's gotten is, I believe, a single skeleton kill there. He might be able to pick one up with the warrior, but it seems like the crit fiend did quite a bit of damage there, and the ring protection will be stolen by the Farseer. But I mean, to be honest, not much is actually being done on Infi's side. Back to his base, he is on his way to double bestiaries and the Shadow Hunter. I'm not sure if he's gonna go Fortress Tech or not, but for now, I think he's just gonna wait until whatever WFZ goes into, if he's gonna go mass Crypt Fiends, or if he's just gonna go the standard destroyers there. Nice acid bomb with the ensnare, lucky ensnare from the creep camp, able to take down the grunt there, and WFZ should be extremely happy about that. His alchemist is nearing that level 2, which curious to see what his second ability is going to be. Healing spray is very powerful, but at the same time very risky kind of ability to use, because you can obviously heal your opponent's units. I'm actually trying to remember the other ability. It's like Chemical Rage or something like that. The alchemist gets like a steroid kind of thing, but it seems like he chose to take the healing spray instead, and we'll see how useful that is going to be. Actually, we already see how useful it is. Able to tank the creep camp thanks to that healing ability. Needs to be careful not to get boulder tossed by that stone golem, but it seems like the AI is just not too smart today. Either way, Farseer going back to creeping, and this is exactly what he needed to do. I mean, the Farseer is kind of weak without his level 2 or level 3 shadow spirit wolves. Yeah, I mean, they're too fragile. They don't deal enough damage to warrant constantly harassing your opponent with level 1, so like you kind of needed to have creeped out your own. But yeah, I mean, we'll see how Infi does. I think he is a little bit behind, but considering he already has his double bestiaries down and is making his way to double raiders, we'll see how well he can actually perform with this. Alchemist, very close to level 3. He does have the Fluid of Accuracy, so those Crypt Fiends are even more powerful. Those destroyers will also benefit off that aura as well eventually, once we get there, of course. Lich comes out as the second hero, which is interesting, but then again, the Alchemist in itself is interesting. I'm not sure if there's any real synergistic, I mean, properties between these two heroes, but the Lich is just a very solid second hero overall. Doesn't need too much levels to do very well. He needs like, I think, level 3 minimum to perform. And yeah, we'll see how quickly he can get into that. I was actually curious if Healing Spray could actually heal the creep camps, but it seems like it is not able to. Or the AoE was just incorrect. But another interesting development, we have Serpent Wards coming out for Infi, so I mean, I guess this is what happens when you don't exactly main Orc. You want to dabble into some other abilities. So Serpent Wards are going to be potentially very potent, but I'm trying to remember if destroyers even can their Devour magic even get rid of those Serpent Wards or not. But either way, I think those Crypt Fiends can do it with like 3 or 4 hits. So let's see how much usage those Serpent Wards are actually going to get as early expansion, not early expansion, but expansion here for Infi. I mean, Infi is indeed a human main. He wants to expand whenever he wants to, and he will be able to do so right about now. Dark Ranger comes out as the third hero, and I mean, no clear synergies here between all 3 of these heroes, but they're just very solid by themselves. Alchemist is obviously the more team player, and of course, once he gets enough levels, he can be, of course, the monstrous carry as well. But it seems like the expansion will be sniped before. Yep, will be sniped before the TP scroll is going to be activated here. Farseer is going to use his TP scroll right after he gets a bit of a nasty Frost Nova, and there we go. Serpent Wards are going to be left behind, but those Acolytes were pulled off to repair that Black Citadel. Destroyer form is just about finished, and yeah, we'll see whether or not these Mass Raiders can actually hold those guys down. Mass Raiders very good against Destroyers because once you ensnare them, it's kind of tough to actually fight back because you're so fragile even when you're in Destroyer form, I guess. So, yeah, there's that. So far, it just seems to be Mass Raiders here. Fortress deck is on the way. Wind Riders are also being queued up, as the War Mill is also being built as well, so we could potentially have troll berserkers being added to the mix, as well as of course those wind riders. I guess wind riders just as a early substitute for those berserkers. Once berserk form is upgraded and all dandy, we should probably not be seeing any more wind riders, because they by themselves are also pretty weak versus crypt fiends. So that's just what I'm predicting. It's been a while since we've actually seen berserkers, so I'm not sure if that is going to actually happen. Django Endurance gets picked up by the Farseer that was dropped by this Overlord's camp. And yeah, attack speed and movement speed is going to be very helpful for these naturally slow moving and slow attacking units from the Orc side. And it's perfect because Infi chose not to go for the Turan Chieftain, so that ore is actually useful.
Our forces are under attack.
Illusions being used to do some scouting here. Expansion, oh, not expansion, but a tower is going to be placed down. Infi definitely would have loved to have that expansion, but of course you can't have everything. I think that's +6 claws, second pair of +6 claws for the Shadow Hunter. He's getting pretty powerful. He can also give that over to the Farseer, since the Farseer I think deals a little bit more DPS with his attack speed or so, but yeah, I mean, Shadow Hunter is going to be a bit busy with the healing waves and the serpent wards there.
Our forces are under attack.
Overlord camp has been taken down, I believe, and the Medallion of Courage gets picked up by the Lich. +4 strength and +4 agility, probably, not agility, intelligence. Probably the best dual stat item for him because it boosts both his tankiness and of course his base damage thanks to intelligence. Temple of the Damned has been placed down and was building some Banshees, but it seems like the attack here from Infi is going to be shutting that operation down a little too early. We do have one Banshee stuck in the gold mine here. I'm not sure why that is, but there is that. We also have these Necropolis Ziggurat kind of thing. I mean, just there because I think we're having some lumber problems here for WFZ. Yeah, he is at like about 500 gold and about 100 lumbers, so yeah, despite having the 3 ghouls, it seems like yeah, it might just be spending a little too much right now. Here comes a second attack, maybe from Infi. TP Scroll was just burned. I'm not sure if he actually replaced it. He did indeed replace it, but it's gonna be so bad TPing yet again within even the same minute. So let's see if he actually is going to use it or not. I mean, he has to, otherwise his base is going to be destroyed completely. Crypt has been taken down. Temple of Damned has been placed down once again, but that might just be another story altogether. Here comes an exchange of TP scrolls here. Can WFZ be able to get something out of this? It doesn't seem like it, as that one low hit point raider was actually able to survive. And yeah, trades of TPs. Except that was, I believe, WFZ's second TP scroll. Meanwhile, Infi just walked away from the first fight, so yeah, losing quite a bit in terms of resources. In terms of army supply, both sides are pretty even. Of course, that we have to take count of those serpent wards there, and the spirit walls, because they do skew on the actual army strength, I guess. Let me just take a drink here. Ugh. Serpent wards just being placed down, acting as a scout, and just a bit of an annoyance here on WFZ's side. But Infi once again going in for a wraparound attack. Just gonna dump his dire wolves here and hopefully trying to get some crits onto that acolyte. Oh, no crits, but those wolves were left alone long enough for that guy to get killed. Watchtowers being placed over here is going to be spotted by the destroyers, so Infi's attempt yet again at expanding is going to be thwarted here. It's a really difficult position for both sides to be in. I mean, Infi can't really truly fight WFZ's army, but I mean, Infi's just dancing around WFZ's nose right now, doing as much hit and runs as he can. Serpent wards, honestly, I don't even know what I think about them so far. the Shadow Hunter is plus 23 in attack, which is actually crazy to think about. If there was a Blade Master in this game, despite all the nerfs that he's received, he would still look pretty good. But oh well. What was taken down? I think it was just another crypt. No, it was the Altar of Darkness that was taken down there. So crypt hasn't been replaced just yet. Probably not going to see a boneyard with how many raiders there are in the field. And yeah, we're still seeing Wind Riders. So the 1-mil wasn't even for Troll Berserkers there. So I'm not even sure what went down with the Troll Berserkers in the meta, but yeah, I guess we stopped making them. Here we go here, Crypt once again being forced to cancel, TP Scroll yet again going to be forced to be burnt, and it's just going to be a trade of TPs. Obsidian Statue gets taken down, and yeah, I'm not sure if WFZ even wants to keep going for this, because Infi is trying his damnedest to try and expand, which he might be able to do, and once he gets this fully mined and all that, he might be able to just keep affording to trade TPs, and that is going to be very annoying for WFZ. But WFZ might have enough of that, he might want to go in for an attack here. Shadow Hunter is very low on mana, but he is running on a Clarity as well as a Sobi Mask, so I mean, if WFZ gives Infi enough time, that Shadow Hunter might just have enough mana to fight on. He's also constantly just placing down those Serpent Wards as well, so yeah, at least he's fortifying his army. Infi is about 10 supply ahead versus WFZ's 52. And of course it is home advantage for the Oracle player. It seems like WFZ is maybe having a little bit of cold feet. His units aren't upgraded whatsoever. His Wind Rider, neither are Infis, so yeah, it's basically all down to unit control and yeah, how well things can actually turn out, and of course how much curse procs actually happen here. Frost Armor is going to be given over to that Alchemist. It is not going to affect the Serpent Wards, but it will affect those Raiders and Grunts. We have a bunch of units over on Infi's side here. Wind Riders able to do a lot of DPS onto that Destroyer, which unfortunately was caught out thanks to an Ensnare. Here we go with the fight. Alchemist is going to go for a healing spray. Is it going to be enough healing? It doesn't seem like it. Chain Lightning as well. Wind Riders are being mowed down quite a bit. The Alchemist is spamming that healing spray, but of course it is hitting those wolves in the front line as well. A-Bomb is going to come out, but WFZ is at a pretty desperate supply count right now. 35 versus 38. He is able to keep even a little bit, but those summoned units are so problematic. Yeah, all the DPS is pretty much dead on WFZ's side except for his heroes, and Infi, I guess he just doesn't have enough burst damage to take down that A-Bomb as well. Healing Spray might be a little too much as well, as an Acid Bomb gets tossed somewhere. I actually don't know who it hit. Oh, it hit the Kodo Beast, which might get taken down. I mean, taking down the Kodo Beast might be a bit of a huge result, but for now it seems like both sides are just going to recoup a little bit. Of course, WFZ can recoup a lot better thanks to that healing spray. Oh yikes, things are not looking good for Infi right now. That healing spray constantly topping off that Destroyer. But Alchemist is kind of out of mana, so we'll have to see if he can keep those guys healed up. I mean, the good side about the Alchemist compared to the Death Knight is that healing spray at least costs a lot less than Death Coil, and it hits more than one unit. So let's see how it goes. Another acid spray gets tossed. Actually, I have no idea if it actually affects. Oh no, there we go. Oh wait. Oh, I completely got confused with the Alchemist's air attack versus his acid bomb there. But either way, level 5 onto the Alchemist. That level 3 acid bomb will be absolutely devastating there, as the Lich is taking quite a bit of damage in return. A-Bomb and the Crypt Fiend being chained and snared, but the healing spray is going to make quick work out of that DPS. but it seems like chain lightning and all that is just a little too much for the Alchemist to handle now that he is out of mana. And it is pretty much just heroes versus the rest, as Serpent Wards are just going to be taken down. Just not enough DPS coming in from those Serpent Wards, but at least they can tank a little bit of damage as well. Alchemist here, is he gonna... I mean, not sure what he's going to do right now, but he is taking quite a bit of damage. Probably not the smartest idea WFZ actually had. He had no mana to do anything, and he doesn't have his Chemical Rage to actually steroid his auto attacks. Here we go, Speed Scroll being used. That Kodo Beast really wants to eat a Crypt Fiend there, and he will be able to Dino Dash away. That is going to be the last Wind Rider for Infi's side. That is going to get level 5 over to the Lich. But the Farseer able to Chain Lightning another kill into level 5. But he is desperately low, and it seems like he is going to get taken down. Nicely done by those 3 undead heroes, with that 1 Crypt Fiend as well, of course. Kodo Beast might actually die this time, but he is going to get ensnared, and the Kodo Beast is going to get healed up thanks to the Shadow Hunter. But I mean, Alchemist just does way too much damage, even without, I guess, the steroid. I mean, his slow auto attacks are doing a good amount of damage at a time. Ooh, yikes, Serpent Ward that was actually a surprising amount of damage for those Serpent Wards. It is going to force that Health Stone from the Alchemist there, so, yeah, I guess I see those things in work once they are level 3, but, yep, you can see the desperation there on Infi's side. He's actually now behind in supply. Infi, WFZ is on the 1 at 50. Meanwhile, I actually have no idea what I'm saying. Is the Farseer even revived through the altar? He is. Okay, so that's on the way, but Wind Rider is also on the way as well. I think it's pretty much a done deal. I think WFZ might be able to clinch this through with his Goblin Alchemist.
Our gold mine is collapsed.
And we'll see. Banshee is going to get taken down there, but I mean, those 3 heroes. I mean, it's always undead and the heroes that do the most work here, and it is clearly showing it. I mean, the Dark Ranger hasn't really done too much to wow me, but I mean, it has been pretty much the Alchemist so far. He's getting very close to level 6. I'm trying to remember what his ultimate ability actually was. That is not something I even considered actually happening, so we'll probably see it if we do see it. But the siege is still going on at Infi's expansion. Farseer is now out. But can he really change things too much? Could we see a Frost Nova? Yes, we will, but nothing much else there. He is going to get halved quite a bit, as more Serpent Wards are going to be placed down. Healing Spray, once again, that is probably going to be his last Healing Spray, as he is now out of mana and no mana pots. Kodo Beast actually was possessed earlier. I didn't actually notice, but he is going to get taken down on WFZ's side. Triple Serpent Ward still doing quite a bit of DPS, and they might be able to take down that Destroyer. Yikes, now we're on to a 4th Serpent Ward here, but the Alchemist is going to hit that glorious level 6. Probably a little out of mana for that ultimate ability, as he is just going to Healing Spray it instead. I'm just so curious as to see if he's going to use his ultimate or not. It seems like, is that TP Staff? That was a TP Staff on the Farseer, so kind of ditched his expansion here along with the Shadow Hunter. I don't know if Serpent Wards, I mean, yeah, they do so much damage, but there's just so much. I mean, Infi is dealing with a fully rebuilt army. Meanwhile, he is still struggling with his scraps. I'm actually amazed that WFZ was able to round up enough resources to rebuild his army completely. Shadow Wolves just doesn't seem to be enough, as they can't really snipe down the Lich with that frost armor. And yeah, that is probably it for Infi, as WFZ is Lich taking quite a bit of damage. A Silence is going to be cast onto that Shadow Hunter, and he is going to get taken down. Nicely done by the Lich to get that killing blow. He is level 6. but probably not going to see Death and Decay as another Nova is going to claim the Farseer there. So, yeah, pretty action-packed for the most part. I think, yeah, I mean, 2 heroes hit level 6. Unfortunately, we didn't actually see the ultimate ability. Alchemist, I mean, every time I see the Alchemist, he either does very, very well, or he's a very joke-like character. So I'm glad it was the, I'm glad it was the carry aspect this time around. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys again whenever.